All right, starting lesson 2.3, proving angle pair relationships. All right, so here we have the linear pair postulate. If two angles form a linear pair, then they are supplementary. Okay, you've worked with this plenty. Two angles form a line together, 180-degree angle. And we have the vertical angles theorem. So vertical angles are congruent or equal in measure. So here we have vertical angles. And here we have some as well. Okay, and they're equal in measure or they're congruent. Congruent means they have the same shape, and then equals refers to a numerical value. They're equal to the same numerical value. Okay. So example 1 says, given angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Angle 1's congruent to angle 3. All right, then prove this. So whatever you're proving comes at the very end. All right, so we have this information here for statement 1. That's a given. And then we have measurement of angle 1 equals measurement of angle 3. Well, they went from congruence to equality. So that's simply the definition of congruence. All right. Now we have measurement of angle 1 is equal to measurement of angle 2. Well, how do we know that? Well, that's based off of what we have up here. These are vertical angles. So we know they're equal in measure. So we could say, I know those angles are equal based on the vertical angles theorem. All right, then it says measurement of angle 3 plus measurement of angle 4 equals 180. Well, how do I know that? Well, the two angles form a line together, so I know that based off of the linear pair postulate. Okay, and now it says measurement angle 2 is equal to measurement angle 3. Well, how do you know that? Well, let's look at these two bits of information up here. Measurement angle 1 equals measurement angle 3. Measurement angle 1 equals measurement angle 2. All right, two angles are equal to the same angle, so they must be equal to each other. Now that's which reason? That would be the transitive property. Okay, transitive. Sorry, it's a little messy there. Transitive property. Okay, and then we have measurement angle 2 plus measurement angle 4 equals 180. All right, now notice that these statements are the same except for what? Angle 3 turned into angle 2. Now, how did that happen? Well, I use this information here. Here I have angle 3, here's angle 3. I could replace it with angle 2. All right, so that's simply substitution. All right, so this is a great example proof for showing you the difference between when you would use the transitive property as a reason and when you would use the substitution property as a reason. All right, let's do another example. Example 2, angle 5 is congruent to angle 6. All right, that's given. And then we have angle 4 is congruent to angle 5. All right, and angle 6 is congruent to angle 7. All right, well, how do we know that? Well, those are vertical angles here. So that's the vertical angles theorem. All right, then you have 4 is congruent to 6. Well, how do you know that? Well, 4 is congruent to 5. And here I have 5 is congruent to 6. So then I know 4 is congruent to 6. That's simply the transitive property. All right, and then angle 4 is congruent to angle 7. Well, that's using these bits of information here. So I have 6 and 6, so I know 4 is congruent to 7. And once again, the reason is transitive property. All right. All right, if you have any questions, please make sure to ask. That's all for the lesson. Begin the assignment.